Let's do a quick inventory. A half-finished pottery wheel in the garage. A guitar with 3 strings left. A Duolingo streak for a language you haven't spoken out loud once. A sourdough starter you've named but never actually baked with. And somewhere in a drawer, a notebook titled Business Ideas. That is mostly just one page, written very enthusiastically at 1 a.m., in handwriting that gets worse the more excited you got. If any of that sounded uncomfortably specific, welcome. You're not lazy. You're not unfocused. You just picked the wrong shape. Here's the sentence that's been quietly ruining people like us for decades. Jack of all trades, master of none. It sounds like an insult wearing a nice sweater. Polite on the surface, brutal underneath. Society hands you exactly one approved template for a career. Pick one thing, drill straight down. Become the world's foremost expert in that one thing. Retire with a plaque. And if your brain instead wants to learn upholstery, then beekeeping, then suddenly develop a whole personality around fermentation, the system doesn't have a slot for you. So it labels you scattered. Except here's the part nobody tells you. That label was built for a completely different world than the one you're actually living in. There are 2 very different kinds of environments you can build a skill in, and almost nobody separates them. Call the first one a closed room. Think Sudoku, competitive darts, filing taxes, fixed rules. The rules today are the rules tomorrow. Repeat the same motion 10,000 times, and you get predictably, measurably better. This room rewards drilling straight down. One skill, forever. Now call the second one an open field. Think improv comedy, running a small business, raising a toddler, or navigating literally any modern career. The rules shift constantly. What worked last quarter actively stops working this quarter. There's no fixed target to drill into because the target keeps relocating on you. Guess which room most of adult life actually takes place in? The open field. And the open field doesn't reward the deepest driller. It rewards the person who's collected patterns from 5 different rooms and can notice when room 3's solution quietly applies to room 1's problem. That person looks unfocused from the outside. From the inside, they're running the single most useful skill in an unpredictable environment: cross-pattern recognition. Your curiosity was never a bug report. It's just hardware built for a different job than the one everyone's grading you on. So if master one thing forever isn't actually the goal, what is? Let's talk shapes, because apparently careers come in letters now. Shape 1. The skyscraper. One deep, narrow tower of expertise. Incredible if you're a heart surgeon. Slightly less incredible if you're a human being who also enjoys things. Shape 2. The puddle. Wide, shallow, covers a lot of ground, approximately 1 centimeter deep everywhere. This is what happens when curiosity runs completely unmanaged. You know a little about everything and can finish precisely 0 sentences with actual authority. And shape 3, the one that actually fits people like us, the bridge. 2 or more solid towers of real depth, connected by a wide walkway of curiosity running underneath. Stability on both ends, freedom in the middle. Not scattered, structural. Now, before we get to how you actually build one of these, a quick warning, because this is where most people accidentally torch the whole plan. It's called the shiny object trap, and it looks like this. You learn about the bridge idea, get extremely excited, and immediately try to start 4 towers at once. Pottery on Monday, coding on Tuesday, a podcast idea on Wednesday, conversational Japanese somewhere in there too. 6 weeks later, you have 4 towers that are all exactly ankle height, you're exhausted, and you conclude, guess this bridge thing doesn't work for me either. It wasn't the plan that failed. It was starting all of it at once, which, plot twist, just builds a slightly more organized puddle. So how do you actually pour concrete for a bridge instead? Step 1. Stop building every tower at the same time. Pick one tower. Commit to it like it's the only one that exists, for one real season. A hard 4 to 12 months, not whenever I feel like it. Push through the boring, plateauy middle part where most people quit, because that's usually exactly where real competence starts kicking in. Then, and this is the key move, you don't abandon it. You graduate it. It becomes a load-bearing tower, and only then do you turn your attention to tower number 2. One at a time, never 0 at a time. never 4 at a time. Step 2. Your day job does not have to be your soulmate. There's this exhausting myth that your job must be your one true burning passion or you failed at life. Ignore it completely. A job's actual function, structurally speaking, is to hand you 2 resources: money and leftover mental energy. That's the entire job description. Ask yourself one blunt question. After this job, do I have anything left in the tank for my own towers? If yes, congratulations, that's a perfectly good foundation, passion or no passion. If it's draining every drop before 6 p.m., that's the actual problem worth solving, not your lack of focus. Step 3. This one's for the notebook full of 1 a.m. business ideas. Your brain is a phenomenal idea generator and a genuinely terrible filing cabinet. New obsessions show up faster than you can act on them, and if you try to hold every single one in your head at once, you don't get clarity. You get a browser with 74 tabs open, all of them quietly screaming. So build yourself an external parking lot. Doesn't need to be fancy. A notes app, a cheap notebook, whatever you'll actually open twice a month. When a new obsession hits, competitive chess openings, the history of vending machines genuinely doesn't matter. Give it a few focused hours. Watch the documentaries, read the weird Wikipedia rabbit hole, jot down the 3 most interesting things you learned, then close the folder and walk away completely guilt-free. Here's the part that sounds like magic but is really just math. You're not required to use that idea today. Park it. A year from now, deep in an entirely unrelated tower, you'll go digging through old notes for something else and stumble straight into the exact insight you didn't know you needed. That's not coincidence. That's just what happens when you stop deleting your own raw material. And when that stumble finally happens, it usually looks a little ridiculous from the outside. Someone spends 2 years deep in accounting, gets weirdly obsessed with beekeeping on the side, and somehow ends up explaining tax deductions using a beehive diagram. And it's the clearest anyone's ever made the concept sound. Nobody planned that collision. It only existed because both towers were actually allowed to get tall enough to lean into each other. Here's the reframe. In one sentence, you were never trying to become the best at one narrow thing. You were quietly training to become the person who can stand at the intersection of several rooms and notice the doorway nobody else saw. That's not a lesser career, that's a rarer one. And it happens to be exactly the one this decade keeps rewarding. So next time somebody calls you scattered for having a pottery wheel, 3 guitar strings, and a notebook full of half-baked business ideas, you can tell them politely, you're not unfocused. You're just mid-construction. And the shape you're building doesn't come with a plaque yet. It comes with a bridge. And that's a wrap on today's video. Turns out you were never bad at everything. You just picked the wrong shape. As always, if this blew your mind even a little, hit that subscribe button. New videos every week, all about the hidden systems running your life. You're not scattered, you're mid-construction. See you in the next one. It comes with a bridge.